Now let's get right to our first question here on Facebook. This is from Sean in Rhode Island.
Good afternoon, Fast Money. Thank you so much for having me. Just have a quick question for you on Facebook. Do you still think it's a stock you should hold long term, and is it a stock that you think still has a lot of room to run? Look forward to your answer. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for sending your question, Sean. Guy, what do you tell him?
My man, Sean, I think you stay with it. And again, we've said this for a while, Sean. I know you're a Fast Money fan. In the middle of June, when this stock was going through some of its downtimes after people pulled their advertising, I think it was June 26th, when the stock traded down to 207, reverse closed higher. And we said that was the tell the stock's probably going to make new all-time highs. And that's what's taken place. I didn't think we'd get to 300 this quick, but here we are. I don't like Facebook. I don't like the platform. There's nothing about it that I like other than the stock. I think you stay with it.
Bonawyn, you agree?
Yeah, I tend to agree. I mean, when you're talking about holding things long term, it's about a growth story. And from free cash flow to revenue generation, they've shown that they indeed are that. So I'm holding it.
Dan, Nathan, you agree with all these guys?
Well, it's interesting. You know, when you think about the FANG names, you think about the valuation at Facebook, it's far more reasonable than a lot of its mega cap tech counterparts. The stock has obviously performed really well. What is really different, though, about versus them is that their earnings and sales are expected to decline this year, year over year. So you're starting to see expectations for next year kind of pick up a little bit. So the stock seems fairly valued. If you own it, yeah, you continue to own it here. But I think the guy's point is really interesting is that, you know, when that stock dipped down to 207, then it kind of found a range back near those prior highs and consolidated a little bit. And so I think those are the opportunities that you have to kind of buy into a story that you want to hold long term. You want to buy it, I think, on dips. You don't want to buy breakouts like we've had right now. This stock has gone from, what, 240 to 300 in a straight line in about 5 weeks. So to me, I'm not adding here, but if you're long it, then you look for opportunities to add on dips.
Guy is patiently raising his hand. Why are you raising your hand?
No, because I love Sean's question, but it dawned on me, you know, you're a very famous person, Mel, and I've had the great honor of working with you now for north of 11 years, but I was just wondering, if I were to go to the Facebook application, would I be able to find like a fan page for Melissa Lee? I think Sean would like to know that as well.
I don't think so. Not that I know of.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
You're going to create
maybe
one?
I should start one.
Yeah, maybe not.
Do that in a break.
Bono, and you mentioned long term, but if the question that Sean had posed was short term, let's say the next 1 year or 2 years or so, would the answer be different?
No, but I would put in a stop, or I'd buy some optionality there. I mean, we've talked about that. Listen, I think you know, the tech stocks, FANGs in particular, have had quite a tremendous run, and it would just be, it's not about my view on the stock necessarily, it's about prudent risk management. And I think even in the times that are wrong, which I try to keep 49% or lower, as often as I'm wrong, when I'm a prudent risk manager, that's when I continue to stay in the black. So short term, put in a stop. If you get taken out of it, as Dan and some of the other guys have said, then you can buy the dip.